It is your boy, Black Ronin, back on at it again. What another banger and fire video for y'all's out here today. There, y'all. Welcome on back to the channel. But guys, I gotta cook with this one. I gotta cook with this one. So I need you guys to sit and watch to the very end because it's a very, very important topic. And I gotta speak to my fellow Gen Zers out there today because I feel like, man, we need the most motivation. We need the most guidance out here. But in terms of marriage, man, I think this is the smartest way to do it. Now, I know a lot of people in Gen Z are going to be like, oh, I don't want to get married. And it's understandable. But guys, don't X that all off your list. Like, I think that's a very important thing to look into as a person, as a human. I get it. You know, we're living in a very strange time. And then on top of that, you know, the way our old generation has done things for so many years, it doesn't work in today's standard. You know, back then you can do certain things and just it wasn't no big deal. But now it's like you really do got to come with it. But that's okay, you know, but there is a smart way for us to get married. Now, let me get on into it. So what's the smartest way to get married in terms of Gen Z? First thing I would say we need to do is hit the gym. It don't have to be crazy, but if you're young in your prime, you should not be fat, like and out of shape. That's the first thing. No, do not be fat. Get away with being skinny as long as you know drink water and still try your best to eat healthy. But still hit that gym, you know, get a little bit of muscle on you. Like me, I'm not the biggest guy walking around, but anybody can look at me and be like, yeah, this dude look like he take care of himself, you know? So hit the gym, men and women. You know, you're going to feel so much better. You're going to feel more spiritually in tune with yourself. And I don't know, you just carry a different type of energy and confidence when you hit the gym. And it really shows, regardless of how jacked you are or how strong you are. You know, it just like your whole demeanor just change as a person, at least as a man, in my opinion. I can't speak for a woman, but as a man, that's just how it feels. So hit the gym. You know, you want to be the most appealing to your partner. I think that's very, very important. A lot of people say, oh, don't lead with your looks. I'm not saying lead with your looks. Still have a personality, still have a backbone, and, you know, still put your best foot forward in other ways. I'm not saying just lead with your appearance, but at the end of the day, listen, you should not be out of shape and your partner looks somewhat decent. Like, nah, that's crazy. The only reason I see that happening is because if you're big and fat and you got a beautiful woman, I just know you're leading with that money. I already know. But best believe, put us all on the same playing field with the same money. Oh yeah, man, that big dude getting annihilated 100%. I'm not saying he can't pull nothing, but because I ain't gonna lie, it's some big dudes that do got some like really good charisma, and they just some funny people. I'll give it one thing, like a big person on the chubby side, you know, obese side, they always some funny people. I ain't gonna lie, but I will give y'all that. But outside of that, man, hey, y'all got some work to do. Now everybody got a little bit of work to do, you know, but yeah, drop that weight, you know, live healthier. So check that off the list. That's going to put you up there way farther than most people. Another thing too, when it comes down to marriage and doing it in a smart way, get to know that partner. Like get to know the person that you're, you know, dealing with. See, for me, I fall into a interesting category because, see, I'm very disciplined. Then on top of that, I really don't need a squad, a big community of people to really keep me going. I'm just going to get up and go do what I need to do. And that's not a lot of men that can do that. It's a lot of people in general in America that constantly needs to fit in with everybody. I don't care to fit in, you know, like that's never really been me at all. I'm not saying I don't crave community from time to time, but I just don't relate to the average person walking around here in America. You know, like my dreams, my goals, the things I'm trying to achieve. Most Americans ain't even on my type of time. You know, like I just can't relate. So definitely getting a woman that you can relate to, or if you're a woman, getting a man that you relate to, um, and then having that emotional connection, so spiritual connection as well. So making sure, hey, like for me, I'm Christian, so having another Christian girl, like that's very, very important, and then on top of that, my habits. Like I said before, I hit the gym. Having a girl that hits the gym, very important. And on top of that, I do content creation. So I gotta have a girl that, making content, and she sees what I do online. She's used to what I do. Like, I'm not saying she has to, but ideally I would like to be with a girl that's a content creator, does YouTube like me, and we can both share ideas, drop content on the regular, and really have a game plan, so we can both scale both of our businesses and work together, but still have the general mindset that, hey, like, understand the reasons why we got together. Let's not ever let the money and stuff deter us from one another, so keeping that in mind too. But just somebody who move very, very similar to me. Now, yeah, but I don't really see a lot of women who really dedicate, especially to YouTube. Like, I can find a girl that be posting on TikTok, but trying to find one that really look at it on a business scale instead of just dropping, like guys, don't get it twisted out here. Like, YouTube make it seem, and social media make it seem like it's a lot of everybody making all this money and doing this stuff. It's really not a lot of people doing it like that. They'll try it, they'll drop here and there, but most people don't really see a future financially with this internet stuff. And you're really gonna miss out because, man, this AI revolution, if you don't know what you're doing, man, you're gonna really miss out on this biggest opportunity ever. And then we still got crypto. Now, I'm not a financial advisor by no means, so in fact, I'm still working on my website. So once I get that up there, I am gonna have courses. So I'm gonna teach you guys how to use AI to your advantage in terms of YouTube, social media, because I have been mixing it up on my channel, a little bit of AI here, normal videos here, but it's definitely helping me grow. But yeah, like, just looking at every way possible to, really kill it with this internet stuff, because that is the future. So yeah, having a girl that moves very, very similar to me is definitely something I gotta have on board. Now, another thing too, when it comes down to marriage, this is the one that's going to divide everybody. But I plan on leaving America. So finding a woman here in America that sees my vision and what I'm trying to build, and seeing that, hey, I want to really expand my vision and my opportunities elsewhere outside of America. Finding a woman that's on that type of time is a little tough. I'm not gonna lie. Like it's very rare I see a woman that really thinks and moves like me. It's very, like, I just don't see it like that, especially in the little city I'm at. Oh my goodness, man. It's horrible. But yeah, I can't wait to get out this city, man. Like, oh my goodness. But yeah, so regardless if I do meet a girl here or not, but ideally I wouldn't mind meeting a woman here in America who moving like I'm moving, and seeing that, hey, I want to build outside of America and I want you to come with me, be a part of that journey. And then on top of that, when you tell her that, hey, it's a lower cost of living, so our money is going to go much farther, there's a lot less stress that goes off our heads. But also at the same time, I got to also teach her that, hey, just because we got a little bit extra change in our pocket, don't go crazy with money. That's how I look at it. Ideally finding a girl that really doing her own thing, but at the same time, she still got a man present with her, so, we can still work together. That's how I look at it. Now, if I meet a girl that say, hey, like, let's say if I'm doing really, really good financially, yeah, I don't mind having a girl that's, she's not quite there yet, but at the same time, like, having her learn from me, so that way we can still work and build together. I'm cool with that too. But ideally, a girl that really got her stuff, really moving. But even if, like, both of us, we still ain't got everything together, as long as we can put our money together and just work together, that's what I care about. And we can go build something outside of America. And showing her all that, I much rather like in terms of marriage, we can go marry outside of America. That's how I would like to do it. So we can get married outside of America. It would be a lot more beneficial for the both of us because depending on the country, might be able to get dual citizenship. So we can get dual citizenship, then on top of that, easily access to get longer term visas after getting married, especially in a different country. It's just a lot more benefits that you get from it compared to here in America. So we're on the same page with that, man. That's going to be an awesome way of life right there. And also another reason too, because when they look at safety, America's not that safe. And then on top of that, to raise a family, I personally don't want to raise children in America. I'm a pretty smart individual, if I'm keeping it honest with you, and the way my outlook on life just doesn't match the values that I see roaming around here in America. And just the school system, like what we get offered, nah. I much rather travel and see what else is out there. So, and go build out there, and just safety, man, seeing a place that, just have community, want to build, respect one another. That's how I look at it. I just want to give my future offspring a good setup with their life, because I ain't dropping them out here in America. Even as I was rich, man, I just couldn't see myself doing it. But I think we should travel and look at the new horizon, and see what else is out there. So if I can get a girl that's on board with that, I think that's a very, very smart thing to do. That's really the new way to get married. Meeting a girl here in America, y'all bond and y'all build together, and y'all go elsewhere to go raise your family and live a decent life, So we can get on board with that. I'm down with getting married, with a girl here in America. I'm cool with that. But at the same time, if it don't happen, and remind you, and in terms of women, I'm actually talking to a girl right now. Try to hopefully meet up with her later on today. So I'm gonna see how she goes. Really cool black girl. So see how she goes. Hopefully everything go good. She understands my vision. Be like, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is my mission in life. Do you want to be a part of it? If not, cool. I'll keep it pushing. But because I'm not gonna be one of these guys. And us men, the whole travel community is getting a lot of hate because people automatically think, oh, they're just going over there for just women and everything. I'm not saying, women ain't on a man's mind, but it's at the end of the day, I'm actually trying to build something, I'm actually trying to, expand my vision, my horizon, that's really my goal at the end of the day. But I think, in terms of marriage, it's a smart idea to do it overseas. So yeah, if I meet a girl here, that's cool. I'm not about to be one of these guys that just ignore women altogether and just dip out the US. Nah, I'm not about to do that because I think Gen Z, we all catching it out here. And the faster we can work together, change the entire dynamic of this system out here, I think we can have a much better future going ahead. But it's hard to say, a lot of people can't leave a lot of things behind. So finding a person that's really down to drop everything and leave everybody, I don't really see those type of people like that, but hey, that's them. But that's what I think, guys. I just think us young people, we got to move different. But yeah, and hey, if you don't meet a girl here, like I said, I'll be in relationships back to back all the time. Just trying to find somebody who matches my energy. So a lot of women get it twisted thinking I really be out here just knocking down a bunch of women. I really don't. That's really not my goal. It's really just to find somebody who move like me and matches my energy. So if I don't see that, I'm just going to keep it pushing, whether I smashed or not, and then I block the person too, because I'm just going to be like, oh, you're not about to just use me like that. Nah. So I just keep it pushing. When I get overseas, the same thing, But that's really all I got to say, guys. I think this is a perfect blueprint for Gen Z to get married. And I think it's to really do everything Like, do some work here in America, but then take your talents outside of America. I think that's the new way for Gen Z to potentially get married and start families and stuff. I think that's the way to do it, because here in America, man, this place is nah. You know, I know a lot of people are gonna be like, "Oh man, you're a traitor to your country and all that stuff." I'm like, bro, come on. The average American don't even have $400 in the bank. Like, come on. Like, the average American really is hardworking. Like, they're not lazy. Like, come on now. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. It's your boy Black Ronin. Like and subscribe, share. Y'all take it easy.